мощный подарок Господа Михаила. Yeah, we say so. So, very happy to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me. And thank you, Jagat Guru, for making such nice arrangements for all of us when we come here. So many nice devotees have been opening their homes and opening their hearts to welcome us, so we're very happy to be here. I feel like I've come full circle because as Radha Jivan was talking about, Srila Prabhupada planted the seed for this project in my mind and in my heart, 1976, in this temple upstairs. We were meeting in his room, and there's a picture of it up there, I think. And he said, he was describing the Mayapur project, and he was describing about the different planetary systems and going from one planetary system to another, up through, all the way up to the Goloka Vrindavan. And he turned to me and he said, how do you like this idea? And of course, I hadn't been to Mayapur, so I didn't know anything about it. But, you know, back in those days, whatever Srila Prabhupada said, we were right behind it. So he said, so I said, that sounds like a very nice idea. And he looked at me and he said, oh, you like it too, then you can help finance. And everybody had a big laugh because we just opened up this project here and it was quite expensive. So I really wasn't looking for anything else to do. But anyway, we had a big laugh, and right at that moment someone took a picture. And I have a picture of that when we're laughing and everybody is there, and I have it on my desk at home, so I look at that quite often. So Srila Prabhupada planted the seed, and we went through many, many years where nothing was happening, and finally, about 7 or 8 years ago, we went back to the drawing board to decide what we were going to do. We looked at Srila Prabhupada's original instructions about the kind of temple that he wanted, and we decided to build it on the ISKCON land that was totally under our control, not under any trust or anything like that. And we got permission from the GBC and started, and it's been going gangbusters. And usually in Mayapur there are many, many floods. And that would have been a big problem for the construction, especially when they were putting there was over 2,000, almost 3,000 pilings. And when they were putting that in, when they were putting the pilings in, a flood would have been a big problem. But there hasn't been a flood in over 7 years, which Janani Prabhu will tell you is very unusual. So anyway, we've been very blessed, and as I say, this is where Srila Prabhupada gave me the idea. This is my home temple. I first came here after I was initiated, and when the temple was over on Jefferson, Radhakunj Bihari were up in the attic. So, you know, I am part of their family. I consider myself part of their family. So I was offering my obeisances today, and when I got up, I looked into Kunj Bihari's face, those big eyes, and it was like he was asking me, where have you been? So I was thinking, yes, I know, I've been away for so long, and I told you, God, Guru Peru, my heart is always here. And as soon as I get a little bit of space for my Mayapur project, I want to come back here and do some service for them before I leave this place. So everyone knows that during the last several years of Srila Prabhupada's pastimes on this earth, he talked incessantly really about the Mayapur project. There were two things. Giriraj asked him once that the two things that please you the most are distributing your books and building a big temple in Mayapur. And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, you have understood. So these two things were the most important things. Book distribution back in those days was going on really well. They bought some land in Mayapur, and Srila Prabhupada talked about it all the time. So he wanted to build a big temple there. He wanted a big building to identify the Hare Krishna movement to be our world headquarters. And, you know, some people may think, well, what does Mayapur have to do with me? I'm sitting here in this nice, warm temple hall, and, you know, we're Krishna conscious, and we're feeling the ecstasy of being part of this movement. But if you look out the window, you'll see there's a storm going on. And the name of that storm is Kali Yuga. And that wind is getting harder and stronger all the time, and the rains are getting more incessant all the time. And this world is actually being drowned in sinful activity, and they don't even know it. So it's a very dire situation. And Srila Prabhupada, who had the biggest heart, whenever I see a Murti of Srila Prabhupada in the temple, he's sitting at the feet of Lord Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda's shoes are here representing the mercy of Shishu Panchatattva, and Srila Prabhupada always was representing the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So Srila Prabhupada wanted to spread that mercy all over the world. He just didn't want to create a small little cult for people that wanted to become Krishna conscious. He wanted to give Krishna consciousness to everybody. And, you know, I can tell you from my personal experience that, you know, I was in very dire condition when I was growing up. Even though I had a lot of money, I had lost my moral compass and I didn't really know where I was going. So, you know, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, I've been able to get on the path of Krishna consciousness. And this mercy, just like we know the story of Jagai and Madai, is really for all the fallen people in Kali Yuga. And there's so many out there, and sometimes we have to force feed them Krishna consciousness. They don't want anything to do with it. They close their mouth, they shake their head, no, no, no. They go to the other side of the street. Even I have done that, you know. I see a devotee and I go, you know, oh God, here they come, you know. But, you know, they're insistent because they're representing the mercy of Lord Nityananda and Srila Prabhupada. So this storm of Kali Yuga is increasing all the time. You see, we live in an age where there's ongoing war, ongoing conflict, disease, global diseases that are going on, and people just go merrily on their way, continuing to really to spit in the eye of, you know, the Vedic knowledge and the principles of religion. And, you know, so really it's up to this movement and it's up to Krishna consciousness to try to save this world. And it sounds like a tall order, but actually that is really what Srila Prabhupada's idea was to build this temple in Mayapur, bring the devotees there, bring everyone there, and those who couldn't come there, you bring the devotees there, they become inspired, and then they go to all four corners of the world to preach. And Jananivasa bring up this sloka from, I don't know where that's from, but anyway, from this temple, the love of Godhead will spread all over the three worlds. So I'm a very fortunate person, you know. There's also a sloka from Bhagavatam that talks about how people who fight on the battlefield are given the opportunity to fight on the battlefield in war are not that uncommon, but someone who has the opportunity to give his accumulated wealth to a saintly person who builds sacred places is very much more fortunate. So somehow or other, I've been asked by my Guru Maharaj, who was always very compassionate to me, to do this service. And I'm totally unqualified to do it. My only qualification is that I'm willing. Anything Srila Prabhupada asked me to do, I was willing to try. And so that's really my only qualification. He asked me to do some things and I was a miserable failure at it. But anyway, I always want to keep trying. So this temple really is an opportunity for all of us to participate in this grand scheme of Srila Prabhupada to introduce Krishna consciousness throughout the world. Yes, we're doing many things here. We're distributing books. We're going out on Harinam. We're doing so many things. But why not do something really grand? And that was his idea, to do something really grand. Radha Jivan Prabhu tells a story about how Srila Prabhupada was saying that all previous acharyas had done something in Mayapur, including his spiritual master who built the Yoga Pit. And so everybody had, Bhakti Vinod? Yeah, Bhakti Vinod built the Yoga Pit, and Bhakti Siddhanta built a Gaudiya Math temple, the biggest temple in Mayapur before the ISKCON temple. So Prabhupada wanted to do something magnificent in Mayapur, and he wanted it done in the American style. That's why this temple doesn't look like a normal Indian temple. It is an ISKCON temple. It is an international design. And it's actually the most intelligent design because the temple room is over 1.5 acres in size, and you can stand anywhere in it and have an unobstructed view of the deities. So it's a huge, huge, 190 feet from the temple floor to the top of the dome space, and will hold devotees from all over the world who will come there to have ecstatic kirtan and chant Hare Krishna, and then they'll go back to their countries and spread Krishna consciousness everywhere. So this is an opportunity for all of us to get involved. Lord Nityananda has personally come here to give you his mercy, the mercy of his lotus feet. And I'm asking in a very humble way, if you can participate in this, please do so. There won't be another opportunity in this lifetime. This was really the last strong desire of Srila Prabhupada to get this temple built, and it's moving ahead very rapidly. The superstructure is almost finished. We'll be putting the Kailash on fairly soon, and we're planning on a magnificent opening in 2022. So thank you very much for coming here and listening to me tonight, and thank you for inviting our team and the TLDP here to make our presentation. And if you have any questions later on, we're more than happy to answer questions, and we'll also be giving out gifts to people who can participate. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.